something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
O'Neal with the steal. Here's Hamilton, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. This is his first free throw of the game. That's good from Hamilton. Oakland making a switch here. Hamilton hits both of them.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Oakland on top, up 2. And we'll be back with you for the start. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdowns for Oakland.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And I also like how they've trusted one another with the rock, creating shots by keeping the ball moving.
Pass to Stewart. Here's the drive. And the dunk by Stewart.
When you watch Stewart, she knows how to beat defenders on the bounce. She has a solid handle and a nice touch.
Here's Brown. And Villanueva has it in the corner. A putback. Adebayo on the follow.
You gotta love the extra effort from Adebayo to keep the possession alive, grabbing the board and turning it into points of his own. What a vicious jam. I'm not even sure she can believe she pulled that.
And Adebayo throws it down.
Good job of stepping up to the plate there, seizing back the momentum for his team.
Yeah, plenty of lead changes in this game. It's gone back and forth.
Substitution on the court.
And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. Brown outside. Pass to Riley. Lets it fly. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Riley's got 5.
Well, I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but he drained it.
Hamilton outside. Back to Williams. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Oakland needs to get off a shot here. Here's Williamson, and Davis sends it back.
And I know Coach is interested in Davis's defensive ceiling, and blocks like that speak to his potential.
And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two.
Yeah.
1:52 left in the second quarter. And stolen by Hamilton. To the paint. Here's Shaq. Not stopping O'Neal and close. Wow, what a play.
It's a tall challenge trying to contain Shaq, especially when he's operating close to the basket.
And so the ball's out of bounds. Hachimura touched it last. Here's Lou. He has yet to score. Stolen by O'Neal. To the inside. It's stolen by Hachimura. To the middle. Here's Riley. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter, with about 3 minutes gone by.
And proving to be effective around the rim. Hachimura leaving no doubt about that one.
There's Williamson with the 3. From beyond the arc and then some. Williamson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. They set the pick. Pass to Riley. Plays it up and banks it in. Riley's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, great handles, and I like how he finished it off with the bucket.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Deep 2 from Williamson. And it's Oakland scoring again.
Well, I know Williamson wants to get even closer, but he saw a window and he took it.
Here's Riley, and the 3-ball is good. Riley's got 10 points in the game.
Well, the defense can't lose track of him. He's just too talented offensively.
And now the fast break. Hachimura with the ball.
And Vassell's jumper continues to evolve and improve. He's a real threat off the catch.
Mr. Williamson with 1 on the clock. And it's Oakland scoring again.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget it.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Up 4. We've got more in store for you right after this. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. And the home team has possession. 4-point game. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Inside. Here's Vassell. The 3 from Davis. Hands it from downtown. He has 5.
Expect this to be a huge advantage for Davis in his career. He has a chance to really stretch the floor.
No one near Williamson as he lets it go. And they come right back with their own 3-pointer.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a 3-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And Oakland hits again from deep.
Well, this is how special Williamson can be. And when he's hot like this, just keep getting him the ball.
And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute play here. Ball outside. And Oakland hits again from deep.
And you can tell he's looking for his shot. He just believes in it.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
And if you're just joining us, we've played over a minute here in the third. Vassell outside. And it ends up out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. Leslie with the steal. And the wide open shot from Paul. And Oakland hits again from deep.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Back to Vassell. That's in, coming off the assist from O'Neal. Vassell's got 6.
And from beyond the arc, he puts a stop to that 12-0 run by Oakland.
It's stolen by Davis. And they're pushing it up. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Using that speed, Vassell on the run.
For three, it's rebounded by Leslie. Paul with the three. Not going to go that time. And here's the fast break. And finished off by Davis.
And he'll get ahead of steam when there's that much of a lane. You can't get in AD's way.
And Chris Paul hits the three. Paul's got 9 points in the quarter.
Well, we've seen it all around the league. More and more players extending their three-point range.
Connects from three-point range.
What a response from Vassell, coming right back with the three of his own.
And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Teams changing it up here. That'll be a 5-second call. To the paint. Back to Şengün. Pass to Adebayo. Here's Hachimura. Tipped away. Stewart with the steal. There's O'Neal with the three. They get it back. Kicks it out to Paul. Just 5 on the clock. Got a hand on it.
And that's a welcome sign for sure. Hachimura demonstrating a willingness to want to improve as a defender.
For Oakland, they had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
Wow. What, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Clock management. This is where they can get a 2-for-1.
And, Kevin, every opportunity counts.
Off target from the wing. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And stolen by Hamilton. And now Oakland on the break. Here's Green, and Green slams it in.
And the decision-making Green has really sets him apart from most forwards. Skilled at making the right read in open floor situations.
Here's Hachimura. Here's Adebayo. Edwards. The floater. Good. And it's Şengün picking up the assist. Edwards got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter. They're up by 46. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Williams looking over the floor. Paul outside. Pass to Williamson. On the wing, Williams. And Davis pulls it down. Here's Riley. Good on the triple.
And for his position, Davis, a solid distributor. He's one of the league's most unique players.
Williamson outside. Three-pointer. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
They continue to battle out there. So close to taking the lead.
Yeah, this is definitely a close one. Let's see if they have enough in the tank to take the lead here.
Vassell right side. Lets the three fly. Trains the three-pointer. Vassell's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Well, this is Vassell's game. He can do that all day.
And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. And a new group getting ready for Oakland. And so Green will bring it up for Oakland. Outside Jefferson. Williamson left side. From outside the arc. Buries it from three-point range. Williamson's got 19 points.
Well, we talk about ice in his veins a lot, but this guy personifies that. What a clutch shot.
There's the three. And Davis pulls it down. Brown with it. Now defended by Williamson. Vassell outside. Over Williamson. And the basket by Vassell. Vassell's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, they needed a bucket right there, and it's Vassell who answers the call.
Stewart down low. Back to Williamson. Takes the three. Another miss by Williamson. To the inside. And stolen by Williamson. Here's Stewart. On the wing run. Here's O'Neal. Shaq with some nice D.
Well, the defense was right where they needed to be to stop the layup. Great awareness and effort.
Back to Williamson. Off target with his three.
Well, I've been here before. You're looking to get back in the game, but desperation threes are not the way to do it.
Oakland making a switch here. Number 3. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Second team foul. The line for two. Devin Vassell.
Gets the first, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Job well done at the line on that possession. They'll make things a little easier on themselves if they can convert those.
That's a 2 from Paul. And the wing jumper offline. And they go to the intentional foul.
First personal foul. Third team foul. At the line for 2.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
No, you can tell what an intelligent player Davis is. Add that
GG, my guy.
Makeup,
Hope your big man balls get well.
Is enormous.
Play domination, dog. Play domination and play, get rid of all the, what you call it, the games you got left. Hope they have a speedy recovery.
At the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 7-point game. Time called here. Oakland decides to talk it over. They're down by 7. Guys, what do you think?
Licking their wounds. It hasn't come together for them tonight.
But they're not going down without a fight. They'll keep game planning and playing until the final whistle.
Ball outside. Jaylen Brown with the rebound. Here's Vassell. It's stolen by Brown. Stolen by O'Neal. And so the home crowd treated to a win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, it never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that about wraps it up for Stan. Welcome, everyone, to 2K Sports Basketball. This game features something different, as we'll see talent from the college ranks blended into the lineup as well. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Stan Lee and Greg Anthony.
Okay.
Go.
Now here's Brown. Back to Shaq. Towns with the defensive effort. And so here's Toronto. Kicks it out to Van Vliet. Nice defense by Vassell. Brown with it. Picked up by Van Vliet. Outside, O'Neal. And the dunk by O'Neal.
This is Shaq at his best, getting that deep position and then just muscling through.
Mr. Williamson. There's the three. That shot off. And Shaq with the slam.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Van Vliet outside. And again, no good by Toronto.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Brown outside. Davis sets a screen. Pass to Shaq. And Shaq with the slam.
And I like Davis's decision-making. Fantastic. Always great at understanding when to move the ball.
That one good for two. Shaq's got 8.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
Yeah, you're seeing their offense in a flow. Now it's time for their defense to turn up the heat a little more.
And Greg, we know he's a fearsome dunker. But Zion Williamson also has a soft touch.
And that's a great point, Kevin. He can finish in every way, either hand, through contact, off balance, on the run. A natural gift for converting around the rim.
Towns. And Towns throws it down.
Well, you can count on Towns to finish with strength anytime he has the chance.
And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Now, here's Vassell. Back to Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down hard.
Yeah, he's adding a little spice on that finish. I didn't know Bam had that in him.
And it's Vassell with the foul. That's his first foul. So both teams making some changes here. Pass to Towns. to Paul. Fires from deep. Nailed from three-point land.
You know, Paul is smart with his shot selection. He only takes what he likes.
DeAndre Jordan. First personal foul. Second team foul.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Riley.
And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
Paul, right side, shoots the three. Vassell grabs the board. Pass to Riley. .30 seconds left to play in the first. Back to Brown. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Substitution on the court.
And so Larry Bird decides to call timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Both teams deciding to change it up. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Over in the corner, Paul. And again, Toronto no up. Pass to Riley. Three-pointer. Drains it from beyond the arc. Riley's got 5 points so far.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
Obviously, guys, brilliant coaching, a perfect game plan.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already at double.
18.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Well, you have to love what they've done offensively after that first period.
Well, you know I'm going to give this coaching staff some credit. What a great game plan they've had. Let's see if this can continue.
Lewis gets the bucket. Lewis has got the first basket of the second quarter for Toronto.
And look at the effort level Lewis is delivering, outplaying his opponent.
Back to Brown. Here is Riley. 5 points in the game. 5 on the clock. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Toronto ball. Substitution on the court.
Paul with the ball. Morant outside. Back to Paul. There's a screen. And then Paul slams it in.
How powerful was that? Man, he is fun to watch around the rim.
Adebayo with the bucket.
When Bam gets it around the hoop, he knows what to do.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Toronto. They trail by 11. To stand, multiple defensive selections for Bam Adebayo.
Well, look, Kevin, Bam Adebayo has 3 key things for a defender. All right? He is smart, he is tough, and he is very, very versatile. He can guard virtually everyone on the floor at a given time.
In recent seasons, availability has been a problem for John Morant. Greg, dig into that a little bit.
From a league suspension to multiple injuries, Morant has missed a significant amount of time, but we know when he's on the court, he's a game changer.
And Davis gets it to go.
Yeah, even though Davis can create for himself, you'd love to see him get set up in rhythm.
Pass the ball. Back to Morant. It's stolen by Adebayo. Oh, he got it!
Can you believe that?
And again, Toronto no up. Back to Jordan. A three from Morant. And Davis pulls it down. So both teams changing it up here. Guys, they've really built a nice lead here.
And doesn't show any sign of slowing down.
Back to Williams. Pass to Davis. And Davis throws it down.
And we've seen this movie before. Davis moves with authority and attacks the rim.
Over to the left wing. Ball for three. Lewis. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, good hustle. Don't give up on the play after the miss. Attack that offensive glass.
Davis sets a screen. For three, Vassell. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Fast break, Toronto. Pass to Van Vliet. 34 seconds left in the first half. Here is Paul. Three-pointer. Şengün with the rebound.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
It's good from long range.
Well, Vassell has the range to create a lot of trouble at the arc.
Over in the corner, Williamson. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Williamson's got himself on the board with three there.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Up by 16. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Now Paul. Towns the screen. The drive by Williamson. And Williamson throws it down.
Yeah, if Zion gets a runway, nothing is going to stop him.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Outside, Towns. Paul with the three. It's rebounded by O'Neal.
Well, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
Yep, that one goes. Williamson's got 7 points in the game.
Any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Well, converting on those transition opportunities is just so important.
Pass to Davis. Here's Lou. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Now Vassell, defended by Paul. Now Williamson. And the dunk by Williamson.
Yeah, few things more intimidating in this league than Zion Williamson coming downhill in transition.
You know, he should know better. A pass like that is going to wind up as a turnover more often.
And so Larry Bird decides to call timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Paul left side. Paul is doubled. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Villanueva with it. He's picked up by Paul. To the middle. Here's O'Neal. And Shaq with the slam.
And the big guy is doing big things offensively. O'Neal knows his team counts on him to rack up points.
Back the call. The three. O'Neal with the rebound.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Toronto trails by 14. Here's Rodman. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. From outside the arc, Riley can't hit. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for Toronto. Williamson outside. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Williamson's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Zion keeping the defense on their toes right there.
Screen by O'Neal. Here's Riley. Launches it. A shot that time, not on target. Here's Williamson. And the dunk by Williamson.
An incredible night for Zion. Exactly what we expected, and maybe even a little more.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Morant. That is his first foul of the game. Both teams will make substitutions. The visitors with the ball. Pulls up. Past O'Neal. There's 42 seconds left in the third quarter. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Over to the wing. Pocket two. Shot by Villanueva, no good.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Inside. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Yeah, taking away the lead is never easy, but a rally like this is how you do it.
Driving inside. Here's Adebayo. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. And that's now 6 points for Bam Adebayo. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. They're up by 9. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment.
38.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And here is Williams. It's Vassell on the wing. Sinks the three-pointer.
And Vassell's jumper continues to evolve and improve. He's a real threat off the catch.
To the left side wing. Ball for three. Moves back up. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. To the wing on the left. Launches a three. And he's good on the three ball.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Absolutely. They're playing their game and executing at a real high level. Everything is working for him right now.
Mr. Williamson lets the three fly. Missed it. He's now made 6 of 10 from the field. Fires for three. Knocks down the three.
Heavy incoming from beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's always a little risky to lean this hard on the three-point shot, but when you're knocking him down, you might as well keep riding.
And so Larry Bird decides to call timeout. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. Toronto trails by 18. Moran outside. And that time also a missed shot.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball in the three-point lane.
And Davis sends it back.
Come on now, you gotta bring it harder than that when AD is meeting you at the rim.
Knocks down the three.
Firing with conviction, you love to see that.
Brown fires. Shaq with the screen. The shot from 20. Count it.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
Morant outside for Davis. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
Well, the way that Morant is able to twist and contort through a defense, he is one of a kind in that regard.
And finished off by O'Neal.
Well, he's been dialed in. Very efficient here in the second half.
And there's the call on Zion Williamson. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Towns with the steal.
Well, that's just great awareness. He was ready and took advantage.
Vassell outside.
Toronto foul. Chris Paul. First personal foul. Second team foul.
And the first one drops.
Well, you can clearly see Devin Vassell is a player with a ton of enthusiasm. He loves being on the floor, working as a cohesive part of his team to get results.
Pass to Payton for the three. It's hauled in by Villanueva. Adebayo with the ball. Jones covering. Three-pointer, Payton. And again, no good by Toronto. There's 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the rebound goes to Villanueva. Here's Riley. Buries it from three-point range.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Foul call.
And some extra with that finish.
To shoot the
And so we see a technical foul called here. They're going to get him for hanging too long on the rim.
And though I know he's having fun, it's unnecessary. Showing up the other team either here or down the road, that can give them some motivation against you.
Here's Villanueva. A three-pointer, no good. Here's Toronto now. Over in the corner, Williamson. Got a hand on it. Outside, Arenas. Lets it go with the three. Toronto grabs the miss. Pass to Van Vliet. Now here's Towns. Second chance shot. And the miss. And so it's a victory for the road team in this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For my friends Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for being with us tonight on 2K Sports. See you next time.